Hi, my name is Samantha Meakins, and I am going to be a sophomore at Colorado Mesa University. And I was one of your applicants for the Director of Operations job description, or job. You guys sent me a couple questions, so I just wanted to answer those and get those right back to you. PAC as a function on campus is to provide a connection between all students on campus, regardless of the age affiliations or interests they have. I think it's really important that PAC bridge the gap between students and what they believe is important, but also the connections they're making. So this is the group that can get you to meet new friends coming on as a freshman, but it's also the group that can get you to reconnect as a senior when you're kind of phasing out and you're ready for the next phase of life, but you still need to let go safely and all of that good stuff. So PAC, I want to be in PAC because I feel like it's a great way to build community, and I'm huge on community. I love serving the community. I love giving back to the community, but I also really enjoy just seeing people have a good time safely. I am looking at going into policing, and that is currently my career field I'm looking at, and I think safety is something we definitely emphasize, but we also want people to cut loose and have a good time. And I think PAC does a really good job of that. Just with the pub nights, with our spring concert, it's a great way to engage all students of the community, but also to just show that you can have fun in college without, drinking a ton or smoking or whatever else college students love to do. I feel that I'm qualified because I am a great communicator. I've had a lot of practice with this through management at multiple jobs, just getting engaged and being leader, president, secretary of many clubs and organizations throughout high school and college. I'm currently in the Criminal Justice Association, and so I've been a member through there, and I've helped build connections between Mesa County Sheriff's Office with my volunteer work I do there. And so I volunteer there 2-3 times a week, and I go on patrol, I file paperwork, I just make sure the police can do their job the best they can. But through that, I've learned how to mediate conflict very healthily in a way that respects both parties, but I also am really good at following through, which means if you give me a task, I don't have a problem seeing it through to the end. On top of that, I'm super organized. I love my planner. I write everything down in my planner. I mark everything off in my planner. To-do lists are my absolutely favorite because they make me feel accomplished when I can get through all of my to-dos. But on top of that, I'm accountable, which means if you need to talk to me about something, if something's not following through the way you need it to, you can feel free to approach me and we can work and grow together. I really do enjoy planning events. I was a member of the RHC. I was secretary. So I did a lot of note-taking in that job, but I also made sure that our Bunting Hall residents had the best time of their life for their freshman year on campus. We did a lot of events like pancake, yoga, what else? It was kind of a jumble. We did a lot of late night snacks. Food is big for college kids. But connection is also important, and I think PAC is a great way to build connection. So it's also a great way to build mental health for those on campus. I think we all have a hard time, especially right now, feeling isolated. And so I think it's an important job that we provide something that gives people connection still. For this next semester, I have some ideas, but it probably just gauges on where we're at with our COVID response and as far as people. So I have hopefully a few things that can be juggled around based on those regulations. So the first thing I have is a comedy show night, which I think would be super fun. We could hire a comedian. It's cheap and cost effective, yet you would be able to put it on big screens across a big arena or stadium, and people could isolate while they're watching the comedy show or just gather in groups of 10. I also think a silent disco would be fun. Once again, that depends on what regulations are, but it's pretty fun. You have a headset, the music's all through the headset, and it's silent everywhere else. But just hiring a really cool DJ in, getting some cool lights, having a fun dance. I also have an idea called Slide into Semester. And this is one I think would be really fun for kind of a welcome back to CMU. We're glad you made it through the summer. Let's kick off the semester kind of idea. So I want to walk you through kind of the process of planning for this new event idea. So it does involve a giant slip and slide. So, when I was thinking about this, I'm like, great, slip and slide, college students, who's going to come, be vulnerable in a swimsuit? Is that going to engage everybody? Are we going to get all types of people to this event? Does that feel just more like a welcome event for freshmen versus tying seniors in? And so I built some other ideas around the water slide that create the environment that I want to encompass all students in. So this includes some sort of DJ music area, so kind of some summer beats, a raffle, so we can do some giveaways, and that would get our older crowd in, and then a barbecue, because who doesn't love food on a hot day? So as far as this, I definitely needed to go through some time, dates, and as well as supplies. So going through this, I was looking at times and days, and probably an afternoon on a weekend is probably the best. You're looking at sliding into the semester, so early September, enough that people know about it and can spread the word, but not so early that it ties in with our freshman week or FYI week. I also, cost effective wise, we have our barbecue, so we can get our food from CMU for catering. Our raffle, that would be our biggest amount of money, just coming up with gifts and like giveaways. And the raffle could be completed through a bracelet, so that way the raffle tickets don't get lost or wet with the slip and slide. DJ music, that one's cool because we can either choose to go on the more expensive route and hire a DJ, or we can also just use our speakers and blast some music, and that would create a good time too. The giant water slide is super easy. You just need dish soap, water, and then a giant tarp. So that one's pretty easy and pretty cost effective for a beginning of the school year event. So the next question you guys asked is, what does successful communication between different departments mean to you? So communication is big for me. I think it's hard for any group to be successful unless you have clear communicators across the board. Being clear and direct is the first step to good communication. You can't have good communication if people aren't willing to say what they really need to say. Being concise, blabbering on for forever does not accomplish much other than confusing a bunch of people, but also asking questions. People that are willing to grow and ask questions and be vulnerable in that way are willing to adapt and come up with new solutions and really get to what they need to understand. Honesty is huge. When you have someone who's not being accountable or you're struggling to understand someone, just being honest and saying like, hey, I don't really get what's going on. Those are steps that'll take conversation and communication a whole step further, especially if you're going between multiple departments at different times. Having boundaries and compromise is big too. You can't always have great group discussions if someone's not willing to compromise, but you also have to hold boundaries on attendance. You have to have boundaries on just making sure that everybody's trying their best and making sure that everybody's doing their part. Being accountable is a huge one too. You can't be part of a group if you're not going to be accountable for your share of the work. And then acknowledging roles. There's always going to be leaders. There's going to be team members. There's going to be, your secretary. You've got your people running this event. Then you've got your people running this event. These people are going to be doing their money. So just acknowledging those roles is a huge step to being a successful team and having successful communication. If you don't understand those roles, you're going to have a harder time with that. Making sure you give good contact info is a huge thing too, especially if you're going between a lot of different departments. You want to make sure you're giving them the easiest way to contact you. It's not very helpful to have someone come and communicate to you about an event and you can't even get a hold of them afterwards. And then just respect goes a long way. I think no matter who you're working with, you should always respect their decisions, their emotions, their ideas, and be open to new things. And I think that's a huge part of successful communication. That's what builds creativity and innovation. And then your last fun question was, what would the name of your debut album be? And I said Lattes and Love, because I'm kind of a folksy, I don't know, I like the laid back alt stuff. So I thought that was a fun one to just kind of like listen to in the summer and stuff like that. So thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.